Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. I have been ill this past week and still have a bit of a cough. Other than that, I'm feeling absolutely fine, but I'm still a bit croaky, just to warn you. I will also say you might have noticed that my background might look slightly different. My bookcase is now in a different room because we've just had new carpets put down, we've rearranged my bedroom slightly, and this didn't quite fit into my room anymore with the way that it's set up. So we've moved this in here, and then when I have my own place, this bookcase will be coming with me. But yeah, so let's get on with Series Sunday. Today I'm carrying on with the Jessie Hunt books by Blake Pierce. The books are The Perfect Mask, The Perfect Ruse, and The Perfect Veneer. So these are 24, 25 and 26. Last time we were just coming off the back of the whole Jessie and Andy storyline, where Jessie was kidnapped on her wedding day to Ryan by Andrea, which took us all the way back to the beginning because Andy was a killer in one of the earlier storylines and was connected to the neighbourhood where Jessie lived with her first husband. So yeah, so we're going off, basically it's things kind of being tied up a little bit after the death of Andrea and going on from there in regards to Operation Z, which is an operation that was put in place by Andy in case anything ever happened to her. After the events of Jessie being kidnapped by Andrea and Ryan and the team and everybody finding her, they have been trying to keep the ruse that Andy is alive because they don't know who is behind Operation Z, basically. So they've been trying to stave off any idea that Andrea might be dead in the off chance that it might trigger Operation Z. So they feel like it kind of feels like they're one step ahead, but at the same time they're not, because we haven't actually been getting much background noise from who we know is behind Operation Z. We had the occasional chapter from the person who was waiting for Andrea's phone call. But yeah, so with that, the Andy storyline has been wrapped up over the past 3 books. And I will admit, actually, I'm now holding off because I've only got 2 more books, but the series is still being written and I buy them with 3 books at a time now so that I can do reviews 3 books at a time. So yeah, I'm still loving it. The way that storylines are being kind of brought back to other things in the series is quite clever, because at the moment we've now got a new person to antagonise everybody who is targeting kind of like the final people from previous cases, you know, like the idea of a final girl being like the person who survives it all. Basically we've got somebody in the background now targeting the people who survived crimes and survived killings that Jessie and the team have solved. And that person has a connection to Jessie, which going forward I'm just thinking, is Jessie ever going to make that connection? I mean, obviously at some point she has to, but at the same time it's not something really obvious, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's brought round to how Jessie figures out who this person is, because we've learnt through the New Killers chapters that it's not a really obvious connection, and that this person has only met Jessie once and has now decided to have a vendetta against Jessie because she decided to go back to work with the LAPD, with the Homicide Special Division, rather than teach at the university. So he's got a grudge against her because he wanted to go to her lecture. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying the series. It's so interesting to see where the rest of it's going to go now that we've got this new target on Jessie's back. As I said, over the past 3 books, we've now come to the end. It's seemingly come to the end of the Andrea storyline, and in regards to what was set in motion in regards to Operation Z and how the team worked all that out. Obviously, I'm talking more about the general underlying storyline rather than the individual stories, because each book has its own separate murder mystery for Jessie and the team to solve. And then we've also had a separate storyline going through with Jessie's sister now, Hannah, because Hannah, after quite a few books thinking that she wanted to go to culinary school after high school, she is now working in Kat Gentry, Jessie's best friend, in her private eye office, and it seems that Hannah is now going to go down the private eye route, do something a bit closer to what her sister does, and realising that she can get the thrill that she needs without actually putting herself in danger's way. As we've learned through the previous books, that Hannah has had issues in regards to handling her emotions, and I think it's one of those things where you're seeing two people who've gone through very similar things and seeing how they handle it, and you've got the comparison of the fact that they both lived through very similar things and how that affects them in different ways. And yeah, it's also kind of seeing the route that Jessie could have taken in regards to how she's been affected by her serial killer father and seeing her mother murdered, and how having that kind of on her tail throughout her teenage and adult years, and we're seeing how that's going to affect Hannah going forward, and if that's influenced Hannah's route into private eye investigative career, and also seeing Jessie's route through to becoming a profiler. But yeah, it's fascinating. You think of it as just kind of like kind of almost like a cheesy detective type series. You've heard me compare this to things like Castle and Rosalian Isles and just those kind of detective comedy shows, The Rookie, that kind of thing. That is how I read it. Yeah, it is funny. It's got a really good heart at the base of it, and then you've also just got that wonderful side of the story, the detective side, the side that really taps into the murder mystery fascination that I have. So yeah, I definitely recommend this series for anybody who likes a good murder mystery, anybody who likes that kind of comedy detective series. I think you'd probably enjoy reading these. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. So thank you so much for watching. Let's fingers crossed that this is actually saved, because my camera's turned itself off twice while I've been recording this, so let's see. But yeah, so thank you, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe everybody. Love you all.